Hello and welcome to the Insights and Motivation YouTube podcast. Yes, this is an AI-generated content, but remember, there was a human at the beginning of it, creating and curating this material with care and purpose. I request you, dear listener, to step aside from any bias and listen to the message itself. Take the message, not the messenger. That is the key. The same is true for the rest of the playlists and podcasts on this channel, each designed to inspire thought, dialogue, and transformation. Now let me begin the podcast. Democracy in universities and colleges, participation and representation. True democracy cannot survive without representation, and universities and colleges must embody this principle if they are to prepare students for civic life. At this stage, young adults are discovering their agency, grappling with identity, and seeking spaces to exercise responsibility. When institutions provide real structures for student parliaments, advisory boards, or decision-making committees, they are not merely offering extracurricular activities, they are offering laboratories of democracy itself. Why is this principle so necessary in higher education? Because representation turns passive learners into active citizens. A student who has no voice in how their university operates will treat their education as a transaction, a service consumed rather than a community shaped. But when they are invited to co-create events, contribute to policy debates, or influence curriculum discussions, they shift from consumers to stakeholders. They realize that education is not done to them, but with them. The advantages of embedding genuine participation at this level are profound. Student leaders develop critical skills in negotiation, compromise, and leadership. Peer representatives learn empathy as they balance diverse perspectives across cultural, economic, and ideological lines. The wider student body benefits from a culture of engagement where their concerns are voiced and acted upon. Representation at the university level is not symbolic. It is training in governance, responsibility, and active citizenship. Sadly, many institutions still treat participation as tokenism. Student unions or councils may exist, but their power is often confined to organizing festivals or social events. Policy decisions, resource allocation, or academic reforms remain in the hands of administrators alone. Students quickly realize the limits of their influence, and cynicism grows. Instead of being incubators of democratic responsibility, these councils become ceremonial platforms with little real impact. The consequences of ignoring genuine representation are already visible in society. We see graduates disengaged from political and civic life, skeptical of institutions, and unwilling to vote or participate. When young adults learn early that their voices carry no weight, they carry that lesson into adulthood. A generation raised without representation in universities is more likely to be silent in democracies, leaving governance to the few rather than the many. But when universities embrace authentic participation, transformation follows. Student advisory boards can shape policies on academic freedom, mental health support, or campus sustainability. Participatory budgeting allows students to decide on real resource allocation, whether to invest in library expansions, sports facilities, or student housing improvements. In such models, representation is not decoration, it is power shared. And in exercising it, students learn how democracy functions in practice. Participation also reshapes authority. When administrators listen sincerely to student representatives, they legitimize their own leadership. Authority becomes collaborative rather than imposed, and respect flows both ways. Students, in turn, develop trust in institutions, learning that governance is about dialogue, not decree. This strengthens both the campus culture and the democratic skills students will carry forward. If universities continue to ignore representation, they risk producing graduates who are academically capable but civically indifferent. But if they nurture it, they will send forth young adults equipped not only with knowledge, but also with the conviction and skill to participate in democracy beyond the campus gates. These are the leaders, reformers, and bridge builders societies desperately need. The university, therefore, must be understood not just as a place of academic learning, but as a training ground for civic participation. Every council meeting, every committee, every participatory process is more than student life. It is rehearsal for democratic citizenship. By embedding representation into higher education, we do more than educate minds. We shape citizens ready to lead, collaborate, and transform the world. Did this podcast resonate with you? Are you an educator or a higher authority with the ability to influence educational policy and reform? If so, I encourage you to share this podcast as widely as possible within your connections, and do share and subscribe to this channel. This channel has lots of playlists and educational, psychological content with a focus on how to improve all systems of education, corporate culture, and many such topics. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for our next podcast.